Beautiful smile. That's all I remember about him. Laughing loud and smiling. I don't know why I don't remember what he said, but I remember him. This really hard, gut wrenching laughter that he had. It was contagious. You know, you could, even no matter what he, when he laughed, you just wanted there to see inside us all that.
Much of a white people first kind of thing, and you'd forget all about the Asians and the Islanders, and all that we talk about is this white person that invented something. But why not start with the black people, because they were disadvantaged? And
No, let me tell you, yesterday I had a real eye-opener. I went to the Friday night's fireside. It was presented by a Baha'i lawyer, and he is a defense attorney for race.
Defense attorney for race.
For race. And he made an absolutely brilliant, I didn't show my face and I didn't say anything, because you don't want white people talking in the middle of something like that. But I did a lot of screenshots. And it was really, and it told you all the things we do wrong. Like, for instance, when a black person said, oh, Black Lives Matter. Well, white people matter too, right? Bad answer, right? And it gets a whole list of the things not to ever say, ever. And I swear to God, I've used everything. Well, I believe in unity and the equality of all humankind, right? So bad thing. Don't say that. And so I'm going, oh my God, everything they say not to do, I do. You know what I mean? And and I have screenshots of all of those things. And I thought that was really a good session for me to just be a little bit more open-minded and outside the box, and just sort of reverse my approach. There were about 40 Baha'is on there. It was not just a small gathering.
So what about Enoch Olinga?
That wasn't Enoch Olinga.
That was this lady from Limbe.
Yeah, this phone call was for the lady from Limbe, but that has nothing to do with last night.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. It just reminded me, because that he went there, but he was actually from the East Coast. The Enoch Olinga, the night.
He went there with Nakjavani. See, Uganda, and there was the talk given. I think was it Nakjavani gave a talk, and there only one, and they advertised it in town, and there's only one guy that showed up, and he was a drunk, and that was Enoch Olinga. He was sitting there, the only one that showed up for the talk, and drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, but the story goes that he stayed up all night and showed up. I guess he probably sobered up overnight, and at Nakjavani's door, who was...
And totally changed everything around, right? It's he's the only hand of the cross from Africa. Only African hand.
That's a big responsibility.
That's why Ruhia Khanum said when Enoch Olinga came, he was a Knight of Baha'u'llah at that time for British Cameroon, when he came to Haifa, and Shoghi Effendi put him into a special place where every morning he called him in, and Ruhia Khan said he just recreated Enoch Olinga. He just knew what was going to be on his shoulders, and she said he spent more time with Enoch Olinga than anybody that she met. And Enoch Olinga said he knew it was a gift, that he had the responsibility of Africa on his shoulders.
You met him?
I met him, yeah, in Hawaii. That's cool.
What did you say?
I don't remember a thing he said.
And what did you say to him?
I just admired. You know what? In those days, I thought, oh, hands of the cause. Well, these are cool people. I didn't understand what a hand of the cause meant. I just saw them as cool people. I was 20, 30, you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone understood because they
They all
thought,
did, except me.
well, they thought there was going to be more of them.
No, no. When in '57, when Shogi Feni died, they knew that was the end. And I met them in the '60s, right? So I became behind '69, so I met them in '71, '72. So by then it was long established there would be no more hands.
But what happened when you met him? Was he giving a talk? It was
Oh,
always.
all the hands gave talks, right? They went around the world. In those days, they were designated, they were given regions. And then out of that, when the House was elected in 63, they knew no more hands. And in 68 or something like that, they decided to introduce, and since then it's been running, the idea of counselors and ABMs. And the counselors are supposed to be the carrying on of the work of the hands. And I remember when that happened. I remember the first counselor, Jack McCann's, was the first appointment level of ABMs. He was one of the ABMs appointed during that era. And we thought, what's ABM? I remember in Hawaii, Ben Ayala was a counselor, and what's her name? Who wrote To Move the World? Morrison, Gail Morrison. And she lived in Hawaii. But anyway, oh no, Elena Marcella. She was an early counselor in my community, and she was just expelled from the Gilbert Islands. She was just expelled. She went into a divorce, and I know for a fact, this poor thing, her husband had an affair with a local girl. And so the government threw him out. I mean, he withdrew in disgrace, and she came to Hawaii. So when she arrived, there was only Elena. I never met her husband.
The punishment for that?
An affair? Well,
yeah, for an affair, you're supposed to pay like $100 or...
anyway, so...
it's in there.
Anyway, long story short, so I knew Elena, and she was she wrote Quest for Eden, the famous book, right?
But I'm wondering about, how do you know you met Enoch Olinga? You saw him?
Oh yeah, no, we have pictures of him in Hawaii with everybody there.
Yeah, oh, and you were there?
My picture's not in there because I didn't have money to fly. So then he came to Maui, and that's where I met him. But I have a picture of him picture of him with all the friends, like 30, 40.
Incredible.
100 of them in Hawaii.
He was mostly in South America, so he must have...
Yeah, was he in Damba, right?
Hawaii? Why was he there?
Well, I think they did global. They went. They didn't
cool,
just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them. There was once we got in Hawaii, were the ones that came from Asia, like Korea, Tokyo, or.
That's what I was going to say.
Philippines.
I can totally see him over
there. And then
there.
Hawaii, and then to the mainland. So we got them all stopped over in Hawaii. The planes had to refuel. And then they would get off and stay there for a week and meet with a friend. That's where I met Dr. Gia Carey, Featherstone, Enoch Olinga. Anyway.
Did you do like
No, I was too stupid to do anything but sit there and listen to them.
Okay. All right, I hear you.
I was young,
Yeah. Just like
I was
heard about
younger
it.
Than you,
went
right?
Went to the talk and.
Yeah, I went to the talk, and we knew not to say anything. We just listened to them. The NSA sponsored them, and we were just little peons. I mean, I was just a little peon.
What is this? Oh, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Lloyd.
I heard the Baha'is were really involved in that.
Yeah, because there was...
That was the square where it actually happened is like a block away from the Baha'i Center.
That's right.
And so
And
they
fed
had,
him.
all sorts of water. And
Yeah.
I remember a picture of the Baha'i Center there was just like a storehouse.
It was like, food. Yeah, I remember
Every
seeing
day.
that.
Cans of...
Yeah, stuff. Yeah.
They were instrumental in keeping it blocked off the traffic. 5 years now. You can see, look, all the people in the street just walking around.
Yeah. They have a big, you'll see it down the road. There's, there, up there, and the bricks where they are. In the middle of there are the flowers and the memorial and blah, 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 everything's set up. It's in front of the tent.
Pop-up
inside
thing.
The wall there. It's where they set it up.
Oh, that's cool. There's barricades.
Yeah, barricades, that's what I meant.
This is more like curated vintage stuff. So I don't know what the price is.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Okay. So Enoch Olinga and Nakjavani come to Cameroon. And the first person they enroll is Tanyi, Tanyi. I just talked to his daughter. Tanyi's daughter.
Oh, that's the lady from Lembe.
Yes. Tanyi's daughter. Enoch Olinga's first enrollment. Her father is famous, Knight of Baha'u'llah.
And she's still a Baha'i.
Oh, yeah. And the whole family is. See, so,
and active.
So this is why this lady that I'm talking to, Enoch Olinga, Tanyi, this is the connection, right? And we are right there in it.
Yeah.
And there is a Tanyi. I noticed, okay, gets better. Sorry, need to keep you up to speed on that. So she has a daughter, Elga, who's married in the United Nations, okay? She also has a son. And I noticed the other day, there's a picture of all the Baha'is in Hawaii. Who's a son who just moved to Hawaii. I said, oh, I saw a Tanyi in Hawaii. He said, yeah, that's my son. Because I was thinking, is that the Tanyi in Cameroon, right? And she says to me, but he studies at the University of Washington in Seattle. So he'll be going from Hawaii to Seattle. I said, you're kidding me. You know that's where I am. And so when he comes to Seattle, she's going to come up to Seattle and stay with us. And she wants at her project in Limbe to open up a Unity Museum in there. So we're going to get the second Unity Museum in Cameroon. And that's part 2 of the story. You know, I keep forgetting, I move everyday things, and I keep forgetting what happened 3 days ago because I'm worrying about what happens tomorrow, you know. And I just keep not.
All right, but I'm gonna settle this score. Was Enoch Olinga divorced, or did he had like more than one wife? I know he had a family when he was murdered.
There is yes, a wife and I think 2 children. And I believe, and one of the Olingas is in California. Because the Saturday Night Fireside, Gary is in touch with that Olinga boy. Now, the House of Justice just called all the Olingas to Haifa because one of my friends was just on pilgrimage, and they said during that visit, the Olingas were all there meeting with the House of Justice, right? But the California Olinga was not there.
Was he busy?
Why did he not go? There's more than one in the U.S.
Cool.
So I don't know why the California one didn't go.
Olinga, that's a unusual name.
I guess so. But anyway, the Olingas are famous. So then you have, what's her name? Joyce Olinga. Anyway, she married one of the Olinga sons.
Joyce
know if she's-
Montenegro? No, that's
No.
the lady here.
Okay, let me look at my.
Another Joyce.
Just a second.
Joyce.
Hang on. Okay, Olinga.
That's my favorite lawyer on the TV. Joyce Vance.
Okay, Olinga. Ooh, Joyce Olinga. That's it. Yeah, here she is.
Joyce
So, Joyce.
Olinga. Wow.
Joyce Olinga. Now she is white. I knew her. I know her. I know her from Hawaii.
Was she adopted or what?
No, was married to a son.
Oh, okay.
And now,
So she's a daughter-in-law.
yes.
Cool. That's like the same thing.
Then there is. Hang on, just a second. Let me go back. Okay, let me go because then what just kicked in. That's Joyce Olinga Nyang. Okay. See, you got a lot of kids named after Enoch Olinga. So a lot of kids have their first name Olinga, and then whatever their last name.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a cool story. I'm gonna post this one because this is first. This is like
Okay.
black people first. Let them in the door.
So today is actually the day of Africa. I wonder if United Nations doesn't even list.
Yeah, what is this all about? The Day of Africa.
Yeah, that's what.